Hey everyone, have a VTech phone here, cordless. It is a phone that was used, or was being used in a restaurant, a local restaurant here, and highly suspicious it's not working because it was probably dropped in water. And I don't know, I think this may be done a few months ago. There was 3 of these phones, these VTech phones, in service at the time when it was installed in the restaurant. Only 2 is working now, which they can manage with, using 2 phones, but the 3rd one would be nice to have. The only thing is, this phone has probably been out of service for a couple of months, and I don't know what kind of damage is on the inside, but I'm thinking it may be water damage. So we're going to go have a look inside and see if we can clean something up and get it going. Already got the battery taken out, and of course the back taken off. It says number 1 doesn't work, in case they picked it up. So let's get in and see what it looks like. So just got the back taken off here, and I'm seeing some white residue here. These are the test points which are accessible through the battery box, and I'm seeing some white corrosion here. It's typically what happens to this type of electronic with water damage. I don't know if you can see that. Oh cripes. Not the greatest of shots. But if I were to take a cloth here, you see the white here, if I were to just make one swipe, you may see that come up a little bit clearer. So it looks like water damage. My concern now is how long has it been sitting kind of damp, and because there's a lot of very small components here that wouldn't stand up much to water being soaked, you know, over the course of a few months. So definitely water damage. Now whether it caused the phone to fail, that's another question. But likely, it's a likely path to failure. I can see a bit more white down here. I'll try to get that in the shot. See that white there? That's telltale sign of water damage. So we're just going to flip over to the other side, which is the actual touch tone part, and try to clean up with some alcohol and some swabs. And I don't have the base, unfortunately, so I won't be able to test it. It is powering on, oddly, but it's just not answering or whatever. It's just not working properly. So it sounds like some components failed on the board. So we're going to go a little bit deeper now. Okay, we've went a bit deeper now. Here is the touch pads for that's the screen and the earpiece here. And that looks to be in okay shape. But as you can see right here, we have some corrosion here, some white corrosion. And I'm not right over the shot. You are. I can't see it right now, but I'm not seeing too much on the touch pads here. These little black pads need to be cleaned up with alcohol and then dried well, and their corresponding pads need to be cleaned up. Bit of alcohol. See something here. This is probably a piece of dirt or something. But yeah, and you see small components here, very small. Any one of these legs get a little bit of damage, they're just not going to survive in a water environment very long. So all we can do best to do is clean up the unit as best we can, dry it, and reassemble it, and hopefully it'll work. We're also going to clean up these pads, but I suspect that it's still charging properly, so that's okay. We can get it to work, it's fine. So I'm going to clean up all these black touch pads here, alcohol, a swab, and then dry them, and the corresponding touch pads on the other side on this board, reassemble. If I don't see anything else that's wrong, any wires broken or anything that's damaged, reassemble and return it to the restaurant, and hopefully it'll work. So this is typically what I use. I just use some clean earbuds, and I use this isopropyl alcohol. The battery's removed now, so there's only going to be shorted out. That's typically what I use. You can get this pretty cheap at a pharmacy, and use it to clean up the pads, like I just mentioned before, and dry it up well, and reassemble. And this is the just the one bud I used, and I basically done all the black points here, just to kind of like going a circle motion on each one of them. And now I'm going to flip it over and use the clean side and go over it again, and then eventually I'll get over to this piece and do the same thing, clean it all up. The whole circuit board I'm going to clean it up with the isopropyl alcohol and dry it off. So you can see that there's a fair amount of dirt, so that's a good sign that nothing's working, because nothing's making contact because of the dirt. Okay, I have the cordless phone reassembled. Of course, it's all cleaned, and here are the buds that I used. As you can see, some of them are pretty dirty, and that's the amount that I had to use. So that is a substantial amount of dirt taken off the circuit board and off the touchpad parts. And so it's just a matter of reinserting the battery now in its proper way. I think it goes this way, like that, nice and firm. Place the battery down in the compartment like that, and the back on. Now, of course, it's working, but it was working all along, so I'm not really sure if what I have done here has fixed the problem. So we have to bring this back to the restaurant and put it in the cradle so that it'll re-register the phone, and once somebody calls in, it should re-register the time and date. The battery is about a little over maybe a little over half charged, and of course it's saying right now that the unit is out of range, because I'm about 5 kilometers away from the restaurant right now anyway, even if it was registered. So there you go. I won't be able to tell you if it's going to work or not, because it'll be into the restaurant tomorrow morning for a test, and chances are it might work. You never know, but I didn't want to throw it away until we checked it. So there you go. It's a VTech cell phone, how to clean up the pads and maybe salvage a phone that might not be working, maybe got dropped in a bucket. It's not good news when you drop electronics in water, I can tell you that. But it may have been just a kind of a light water drop in here, maybe just a little bit of contamination, hopefully, and this phone will work. But if there's something got in there, and this, like I said, for a duration of time, probably a couple of months before I was told about the phone and it wasn't working, there may be a component in there that may have some corrosion, and it may not work. But that's how you can clean up like keypads or whatever that have contacts. Your remote controls are the same thing. That's how you can possibly recover your unit. Thanks for watching.